Cole, just starting with you, it was a tough game out there, very physical. Just how you got out to a lead, but how was it when Colgate started to make some plays in the second half?
Yeah, they're a fantastic football team. I mean, I think James can attest to this. I mean, they're really good blockers. I mean, we found ourselves stuck in their poles and stuff quite a bit. They just executed really well, and they're really physical. So, I mean, tons of credit to them. And then we ended up figuring it out, and we ended up on top.
It's got to go to Darnell. 3 touchdowns today as a senior last game here. Well, how important was it to get out ahead in this game? You know you were playing a very good Colgate rush defense.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it all week. You know, we got to run our offense and execute. And we knew that if we got out ahead, we got to try and put it away. They have a great defense. I mean, they fought back. I mean, it's not like we weren't expecting them to, but they did, and you know, we had to dig deep, and we came out on top. So.
Can I ask Kel Hopkins about the hit you took in the third quarter? That linebacker just hit you on a three-yard run. You got back up. Just tell us about what happened on that play.
Oh, I mean, they had a great flow all game, and we were stretching it to the outside, and I was looking at the pitch key, and I didn't see him at all, and he made a great hit, and whatever happened, happened. But, you know, they're great players. They had a great team. They were really physical. They were really fast. And that was just one of those plays. That was an example of that. And we were able to bounce back, thankfully, and you know, trying to keep the ball off the ground. Hopefully, I'm glad it didn't hurt us too bad, but, you know.
John, you got something? All right, go ahead.
I'm going to ask James Nautical. It looked like you were trying to put pressure on their quarterback, Atwood, throughout the game. But you also were able to set up the pass defense. It seemed like you always had double coverage when they sent a wide out deep. Did you feel, was that part of the game plan?
More so, I think just, you know, whatever the call was, people were doing their job. They were making sure that, you know, they were on who they needed to be on. You know, Coach Bateman, he's got the plays scripted up and everything, and so he takes care of that. We just kind of do what he says.
Maybe I'll go back to Kel Hopkins. You got out ahead early. You had the first touchdown drive was on a short field, and then you were able to get the ball back by the defense and score again. How important was it to get ahead in this game?
It was important. Like Darnell said, we really wanted to get ahead early, but we knew that they were a great team and that they were going to make adjustments and then come back out fighting, and that's exactly what they did. You know, they were undefeated coming in here, and you don't get that way without playing good defense, and that's exactly what they did. They made the right adjustments, and they played us tough, and you know, we were able to weather the storm late. But you know, getting out to that 14-0 lead early was really important, and we were glad to do so. But you know, they fought back, and they're a really good team.
Maybe just ask James Nautical about you were able to stop that key fourth down play when they went out to the far side, right the flag, and it just seemed like being able to stop that drive really put you back in control of the game.
Yeah, I think so. You know, it was kind of a moment that, you know, we needed to step up and, you know, stop them. And, you know, that was our mindset the whole time. It was, you know, no matter where the ball was on the field, you know, we were still confident in ourselves that we were going to stop them. And so we were just, you know, playing like we normally do and doing our jobs.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah. Talk about their tailback, Holland, and how important were those 2 penalties in the first half against them that nullified big plays?
I mean, he was definitely a load. He's a great running back. Really fast, really tough. Even when we were blitzing, like, he's a great blocking back, and he gets in your face. So, yeah, I mean, he was fantastic, and we definitely got saved on a few pretty clutch penalties in our favor. So he's going to be a great player. I don't know what year he is, but I know he was great today.
All right. How's it feel to be undefeated second straight year at Mikey?
Pretty good.
Fantastic.
Amazing, yeah.
I remember the last one that we lost here, and it wasn't a good feeling. So yeah, it's nice to keep winning, and now it's our job at this table to keep it going next year.
Thrilled to win that game. That's a good football team we played, and we told our team the whole week that it was going to be a battle. They're tough. They're well coached. They did a really good job on defense, and you know, just made us earn every yard. and that I was really proud of our team there in the fourth quarter at the end when they scored to make it 21-14, and they got really excited and cranked up, and our guys just went to work right there from the 25-yard line and marched down and put it in the end zone, and had a couple third downs we had to overcome, and so I thought just a great effort. It's been a few weeks since we won the fourth quarter. Just scored more points than the other team in the fourth quarter, and we talk about playing well and playing our best in the fourth quarter. It's good to see that. The defense did a really nice job in the first half, had their backs to the wall there right before halftime and got them off the field on a fourth down, which was a big play. And the touchdown that they had on the scoop and score, I thought we had a really good play, and we didn't execute the fundamentals on the perimeter like we needed to. The linebacker ran underneath, and credit him, he made a good play, and that made it a lot more agonizing there for a while than it needed to be. But in the end, I just really proud of our team, proud of the senior class, and a great job that they've done to build this program into being a championship level program. So we're excited to get the victory, and this next 3 weeks, this next game coming up, frankly, is one we look forward to for 365 days a year. Just the opportunity to play in what I think is the greatest rivalry in sports. So congratulations to Colgate and winning their championship in their league. They're going to the playoffs, and I told a bunch of their players and their coaches after the game they're going to give some people some headaches in the playoffs. So good job by them. So here we go.
Coach, this past week we talked about how tough Colgate would be to rush against, but you're able to be successful. You're able to get touchdowns on your first 2 drives. What was the plan on attacking a very good Colgate defense?
Just that, to try to attack them, to try to block them and sustain blocks. And as you said, we did that the first couple of drives. The third drive, we had the penalty. We had a great play. Jordan Asbury threw as good a block as I've seen on the perimeter out of a slot back since I've been here. He just knocked the guy flat on his backside. Now, it wasn't a cut block. It was just he went out there and mowed him down. We had a really nice run, and we were guilty of pushing a guy in the back, and it brought that play back, and we ended up punting on that drive. And then really we had it 3 times in the half. The last time, right before halftime, we got it with 40-some seconds to go, I think, and we were going to try to hit a big play and get it down there close enough to try to get a score of some kind of field goal, or maybe we'd hit a play and get a touchdown. But in the second half, it looked a lot different. We hammered our heads against the wall a few times, and they made some plays beating us across our face on some blocks up front, and the play like I talked about with the scoop and score. If we just use better fundamentals there, it's probably a pretty good gain or better. And we had some plays like that we didn't take very good angles at their defenders. And again, give them credit. They got guys on scholarship too. So they made some plays and didn't look as good. We had to punt and kept giving them chances. They cut it to 1 score, and that wasn't a position we wanted to be in coming out of halftime, having blanked them at halftime. But credit to our guys. They toughed it out and found a way. But Colgate's got a good defense. They held us way below our average. You look at how many yards we rushed for a game, and they held us way down, and they ran the ball. And we talked about that all week, the importance of being able to run the ball and stop the run. That's how you win. We didn't run it as effectively as we normally do, and we certainly didn't stop the run as well as we have this year.
Looked like you were able to put pressure right up front, and then I saw Jim Nautical was doing some stunts. He was outside of Brinson on one rush of the quarterback, and then it seemed like you were able to maintain double coverage when they did send a wide out deep. Was that just part of the plan for the day?
Yeah, we don't want to give up any big passes. I think that's everybody's plan on defense, to not give up big plays. But they had some underneath stuff, and they made some nice throws and catches. But where they really started hurting us in the second half was running the ball. And that, again, just goes right back to our philosophy. If we can do that effectively and force them to be one-dimensional, have to throw the ball, they get in 2nd and 10 or or 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, where they don't run the ball as well on first down, then I think we got a better chance to get them off the field. We weren't doing that. They were running the ball and getting themselves in 2nd and short and short third down yardage situations. And so we got to do a much better job of that. We're getting ready to play a team that runs the ball for a living, and they do it very effectively. And so we're going to have to do a great job of stopping the run, and that certainly will be our focus.
It seemed like you were able to get the ball out to Jordan Asbury today and Kel Walker. They seem to be able to get the ball out to the perimeter for you.
A few times we did. We really had hoped to get it out there more to them, but frankly, just what they were doing defensively, really we felt made it was more conducive to us running the fullback or the quarterback off tackle with that zone option power play we run. So I say power, we're not pulling anybody, but we get a lot of bodies over there trying to knock people down. So we just felt like that was going to be the best stuff.
Go ahead, John.
How important is it to finish undefeated again for the program?
I think it's really important to win at home, and we play 6 games a year at home. If you can win all 6 of them, you get yourself bowl eligible. So that's certainly a goal for everybody at this level, is to play in the postseason. It's a measure of success if you play in a bowl game. So really important to play well at home, and I think to represent the core cadets that's out there for us, that they got every one of their classmates out there watching and cheering, and they're invested in the game, and it's fun to win for them. But I've always felt like if you were going to be a championship team and be a really strong football program, that you had to be really effective at home and play well at home and win at home, and that's where I think this pride in having this winning streak at home comes in. Is that when we play here, we're going to be hard to beat. I hope that's the case.
Ken.
And Coach, last game at home obviously for your seniors, but you had some big games at Bryce Holland because you were able to run the dive play, and Darnell 3 touchdowns today, and Nautical on defense, some of the others. Just tell us about how the seniors really stepped up on their last home game.
There were a lot of guys that made plays. You mentioned several of them. I thought Andy Davidson made some really good plays. Kalen Holt, Austin Schufert. He's a guy up there on the offensive line. Doesn't always get mentioned because of Bryce Holland. Bryce is such a good player and been around on our team for so long and started for 3 seasons in a row. He's had a really good year. Jordan Asbury, I mentioned him and the block he had on the perimeter, but he's made some plays for us with the ball. I'm trying to go through in my mind all the guys on offense, but defensively, guys like Ray Wright, James Gibson, and Chandler Ramirez, to Brinson. Help me out there, Matt. Who else we got? Nautical, we already talked about. Max Regan, who got in there, broke up a big pass down the middle. I mean, I go talk about every one of them. Nick Schrag and the effectiveness he's had the last couple of years as a punter and as a kickoff specialist for us. Just a lot of guys. Q Parker. Quentin Parker was really a walk-on at the prep school, and he's just developed himself into being a really good football player. Tough, strong, and I mean, there's not another guy you'd rather have on your team than that guy right there. So there's just a great group of seniors in that locker room. I'm incredibly proud of them, and it's fun to have a day like this, the senior day, to talk about them. But I told our guys, I don't get real sentimental about senior day because we got a lot of football left to play. We got the most important game of the year coming up in 3 weeks, and I'm not going to get all teary-eyed and blabbery about a bunch of seniors who I'm going to be sticking my shoe in their butt in about 24 hours because we're going to be practicing out there tomorrow to get ready for the biggest game of the year.
Coach, you're obviously thinking about the Navy game already.
Hell yeah. Every day of the year.
Every day of the year. Tell us a little bit about how you'll approach the 3 weeks that you have to prepare for Navy.
We'll practice. We'll have the guys over tomorrow. We normally work out on Sundays. So we'll have the guys here tomorrow. We'll take Monday off. We're going to practice Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, and then give them the Thanksgiving weekend. When the game was the first weekend in December, we would have practiced right through Thanksgiving. But because it's the second weekend in December, it really is nice for our guys to be able to get some time at home. We got some guys, when you play Division I football, it's not easy to go home on a weekend. So you go straight from, spring classes into summer training and summer workouts and preseason camp, and this will be the first time for a lot of those guys getting home in a long time. So it'd be nice for them to go home. They'll have 4 days to rest. We got plenty of guys that that need some rest. They're banged up and beat up, and it'll hopefully get them a little more healthy and feeling. It's important for a guy to feel good, to feel like he's 100%. And I don't know if anybody's ever 100% at this point in the season or can be, but get them as close as we can to that. And we'll come back the following 2 weeks, and we'll practice all week, Monday through Friday. The next week, take Saturday and Sunday off, come back and practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, travel to Philadelphia on Thursday after practicing here, and have our normal Friday before the game, and hopefully go beat Navy.
Coach,
how's that for a detailed plan?
That's a plan. Wednesday night, the seniors received their branch assignments. Were they somewhat relieved as a group to know where their future is in the U.S. Army?
They were excited. I can tell you, our guys were excited. I was there. Our staff went there, and we go to celebrate with them, and we had just about every one of our guys got their first choice, and every one of our guys that didn't get their first choice got their second choice. So there's so many of those branches that are so closely related that when they don't get their first, they're already working that out and planning when they say, okay, this is going to be my first choice or my second choice. And we got some guys that kind of say, okay, well, I may not be high enough to get my first choice, so I'll put branch detail, which gives them a chance to go into one branch and then feed in. So I'll volunteer for branch detail in one so I can get the other. And so, I mean, every one of those guys was excited. Nobody came to me and said, "Oh my goodness, Coach, I didn't get what I wanted." They're excited, and this is what they've worked for, they've trained for, and I assure you, these guys are prepared to lead. They're going to do a great job as officers in the Army. They're tough, and they're self-disciplined, and they're motivated, and they're great team guys, and that's what you want in a leader. Very very much servant-minded in what they do.